Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, once again to our third game of this best of 5 between Reason Gaming and N-Faculty. Reason Gaming are 2 up against N-Faculty right here and only 1 game away from getting into the lower bracket finals.
It's a great spot for Reason to be in. They've adjusted a lot of their play and a lot of the things that were letting them down yesterday, and they're looking a lot stronger today going up against N-Faculty, but certainly being this close for Reason must feel good. They've just got to keep it composed for this last game potentially. It is a best of 5, so it's not unheard of in the expansion tournament for teams to go 0-2 down and then 3-2 their way back in.
Well, at least for the offline rounds here in the EU LCS Expansion tournament, it's all been 3-0s. Yeah. Could we see that trend continuing? And it looks somewhat likely, but N-Faculty, we don't know. They could bring 3 games back, but will have to take some sort of crazy change to their game. And they tried it with the Annie, but it just didn't work out.
Yeah, the Annie didn't work out. There's a lot of discussion going on about Annie, and you know, I don't think anyone is really saying that Annie is a bad pick. But it's always the execution that it's down to. And you saw the pressure that Reason put on it at the beginning of the game. A lot of people saying that just Annie in general is actually pretty strong in a solo lane. And Deficio talked a little bit about the games he's seen of Annie in a solo lane, who doesn't build full damage as such. You kind of have that off-tank role. So maybe N-Faculty just tried something that was a little bit new to them. I wonder how much they've actually had experience on Zaz as Annie top.
Well, it looks like we're going to be seeing pretty much the same as we've seen every game here, Stress. Ooh. Fizz comes out, LeBlanc as well, Alistair comes in as a bit of a strange ban, but not strange to the series because we've seen Alistair being played up from Reason Gaming and done really well. Syndra as well, no change. Yeah,
the only change has been that Alistair so far, and Libic has been very influential on Alistair. And again, another change up from the last game. Zed not going to be available for Take Fun, and the analysts talked about it. And, ooh, that's okay.
Okay, so Zed's banned away, as you mentioned, saw that last game. Jarvan comes in as final ban again, nothing new there. But they take away the Irelia here from Kuban in the top lane, so they're denying everything they can. And could we be seeing this again from Zayu?
We may. I mean, Zayu said he'll pick Lulu into anything, so I don't think it would be too, strange for him to pick it. But Irelia being picked away from Kuban is a big champion that they'll not have for this game. Let's take a look at what else is available. Nah, still available. Didn't feature in the last game. We saw the Rumble and Annie matchup instead. Reason, I have a feeling Reason are just going to be a little tentative to go for Nah, considering their games yesterday against Giants, where Kuban's Nah was a little bit back and forth about it. But Reason, what do they have available? Support options, and Corki is still available too.
Yeah, so we're actually going to see the same from last Champion Select, where we saw the response being the bot lane of the AD carry and support. No different in this game as they swap up. It will be the Thresh and the Corki coming in for Reason Gaming.
Yeah, indeed, and I'm pretty sure we saw Libic on Thresh yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, as Libic is pretty well known for Thresh. Yeah, it was game 3 that Libic was on Thresh. It wasn't enough to win in the game, but we know it's a comfortable champion. So picking it that early on should give Reason a lot of faith in their bottom lane. In Faculty, what options have they got here? Do they take the Elise away from Zayu? I don't feel like it's been the game-winning factor. I don't think it's been that strong that that Zayu is really going to cry too much about Elise going.
Yeah, I would be inclined to agree. Like, Elise has been strong, but it's not been game-winning, but they take it away here, and you know what's open? Lee Sin is still.
I was going to say, at this point, Lee Sin would make a lot of sense. He's got the early game damage. He's got pretty much the presence that we know that Zayu should have on the game. Does he actually go for it?
We'll see, but what is for certain is N-Faculty bring out their mid laner as well. The Orianna comes out once again. We'll be seeing this time on Soz PureFect, seeing if we can replicate the games that we've seen before from Take Fun, but they're hovering over the next couple picks. We'll see what it's going to be, but as you mentioned, Lee Sin still a factor. We'll see what they bring out.
Lissandra's still up as well. We've seen so much Lissandra just across the world for that top lane role, can flex it into mid as well. So it could be a good pick here if they kind of flex the Lissandra, pick their jungler here as well. Maybe that'll give them a very influential top and mid lane matchup. You can kind of pick whichever you want Lissandra to go in. But that isn't going to be the case.
No, it isn't, because we have the Maokai coming in here now. That will be picked up for the top lane from Kuban, most likely trying to play the containment game for Irelia and keep him under wraps. And then we have now the Pantheon coming in.
Of course, excuse me, it wouldn't be Lissandra with Irelia in. I was just assuming Irelia wouldn't be a factor because normally it has been banned out in the other games. Irelia kind of crushes Lissandra, so it's yeah, that's why they're not locking in Lissandra. It's not a flex pick after all.
Okay.
But Pantheon. Pantheon is something actually, it's another early game jungler, this time out of Zayu. This one, I feel like Zayu should have even more impact than he's had in the last couple of games, because he's kind of been ramping up in the game how quickly he's been getting into it. So Pantheon makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, you can't really play Pantheon in the jungle. Like, that doesn't really work out that well. So he's more inclined to go for those ganks, and that's what we need to see from Reason Gaming to try and close out this series. Because so far they have been more aggressive, but now we're seeing it in their champion select. And N Faculty seeing a bit of a new pick now here, coming in with the Nami, but no stranger to the AD carry game. It will be Graves.
It's going to be something like an Ahri or a Xerath here, I would imagine, out of Take Fun. Xerath isn't exactly his playstyle, so much more assuming it'll be the Ahri here, but anything against Orianna is going to be a skill matchup. So it's a tough time in theory. Just means we saw this matchup earlier. Take Fun needs to, or we saw the Ahri-Ori matchup earlier. Ahri just needs to be a little bit more proactive, get onto the map a little bit more. Yeah,
and because we've been seeing so many mid-focus bans in these series, it will just limit what they can pick. And of course, it's going to be the Ahri here. It's, that's basically where Take Fun likes to default when he's thrown off his LeBlanc, his Fizz, his Zed, which is top 4 champions, and they've all been banned away.
Yeah, looking at the N Faculty composition, it's kind of a bit of everything when you look at it. There's catch potential, kill potential, at least Irelia. Irelia is going to want to just kill one target. Orianna for the late game, you're going to be able to Shockwave. The Shockwave combination of ultimates with Graves is going to do a lot of damage. They need to get Graves ahead, though, and that's been a problem for N Faculty so far in this series. They really haven't been able to get Cedrian into the game, and maybe not the best night's sleep. There's a big yawn there out of obvious.
Well, we'll have to see if that plays a factor as we get into this one. We're only a couple seconds out from finding who will be getting ahead in this game. But Reason Gaming, of course, they did bring that Maokai into the top lane up against the Irelia, and that kind of signals as well team fights. Yeah,
there is a lot of potential for fighting and catching. Just out of this Pantheon Maokai setup, that's a lot of kind of zone control. Ahri, of course, when you're engaged upon, you're going to be able to just charm and land a lot of damage. Same with Thresh. So there's a lot in the Reason Gaming composition.
But what we really need to be looking at in this game, Stressers, has N Faculty set themselves up to take a game here?
Yeah.
Because they brought out the Orianna, they now have the Elise taken away from Zayu, and they have the Zazas on Irelia taking that one away from Kuban in the top lane. Is this what they need? This is taking away a lot of these champions, but can they play it to the maximum success? We'll see as we get into this game, because it's going to be Kuban in the top lane now on the red side for Reason Gaming, Zayu in the jungle, Take Fun in the mid lane, and Seller and Levick on the AD carry and support.
And potentially could be their last game if they were to fall here. N Faculty, Zazas in the top lane on blue side, Obvious in the jungle, Soz Perfect in mid, Cedrian and Mountain down in the bottom lane, and you have to feel that pressure is mounting on top of them. They have to do something here. They have to make it count.
They do into this game. So everyone launching off the spawn pads and now just following the lines of scrimmage, really. In the mid lane, a ward goes down, actually from Ahri this time. Take Fun puts down that ward, and Soz Perfect will just be doing the dance in the mid lane. And nothing seems to be out of the ordinary for the first couple minutes of this game.
It's all defensive again, and our analysts have talked about it a good few times. Want to get those deep wards out, and there's a deep ward out of Libic. How much is it going to cost him, though?
Well, it doesn't seem to be too much, as he takes an ebb and flow and an auto attack, but it does have that Spell Thief's edge. So coming out slightly ahead would be Mountain, just by a couple gold.
Yeah, just getting that gold. Just want to make sure you're ticking that up as early as possible, but that is a little bit of information that they're going to have here, but it did get reciprocated with a blue side ward up in the Raptors side. So there has been a few more deeper wards, and it seemed to indicate at the beginning, but no big place to start this game. Kuban, however, is going to start the game out for himself with a jungle route.
Yeah, he's starting on the Merkwolves here, so he will be taking that one away, probably teleporting back to base, and then teleporting, of course, into his lane will allow him to get that level 2.
So that's actually what this ward onto what Raptors is going to signify. is the fact that Maokai is not starting there kind of tells you that Pantheon is likely to be on the top side of the jungle, because Maokai doesn't want to steal away that camp that's close. It's just one of these weird things that they're going to have a read exactly on where Pantheon is starting.
Yeah, so Pantheon starting up on these Krugs, bot lane from N Faculty doing the same, so it will be the experience split onto both of those bottom laners, and looks like Celeron and Livic did the same on Grom.
So, teleport back into lane from Kuban, up into the top side, and Irelia Maokai is underway. This time, though, Kuban has got himself that level advantage, and this is going to be a farm fest up in this top lane.
Yeah, Irelia Maokai, a lane we see so often, and yeah, always results in a farm fest, unless there is a huge disparity or a huge amount of jungler intervention, but that remains to be seen. Bottom lane, though, we have Celeber, Lipic, of course, on Corki and Fresh, respectively, up against Graves, Cedrion taking that champion, and Mountain on an army.
And this is a big CS difference between the two already. Lipic has been zoning away Cedrion and Mountain for a good minute or so in this lane, and you can see 2 CS to 11 is a big difference right now, and if they can pressure them out, try and force another Q out of Graves, that could really disrupt the ability to farm under tower here by Graves. So they've got to be careful on Faculty's side to set up those last hits as easy as possible.
That is still a very gigantic minion wave heading towards the turret. But top lane, though, as again, Zazas and Kuban will be farming underneath his turret. Irelia makes short work of those minions with Blade Surge. Zayu now on this Pantheon, though, is a new pick for him, at least in this series, and taking the early game approach.
Oh man, I'm watching bottom lane for the last hitting here under tower, and again, creeps are just dying to the tower here because they haven't been set up properly out of N Faculty's bottom lane. And now they're starting to get a couple, but the fact of the matter is they're 21 CS to 11 down, and I believe Cedrion missed quite a few on the wave before the camera got down there.
Yeah, Mountain was able to set up a couple of those underneath the tower, but you're absolutely right. That is pushing them further and further behind in that 2 versus 2. Not exactly what they want at all. Take Fun now in the mid lane up against his counterpart. We saw this matchup in Champion Select, but it's going to be Ari now up against Orianna. And we'll see how this lane matchup goes, because Take Fun is on his kind of pseudo-assassin champion, being on an Ari as opposed to his LeBlancs and his Fizz and Zed. But Soz Pure Effect now on his Orianna. I'm not sure if he can replicate the crazy shockwave we had before, but we'll see if Obvious can do something here. Flash out of the way of the cocoon. Good reaction times by Take Fun.
Oh, hook down in the bottom lane, though.
Going fishing, though, and that's a long range. Zayu coming into the lane will be landing all this damage. Ignite has fallen as well. Livic trying to get this last auto attack. Last spear shot. First blood to Zayu.
Really well worked, gang. Gets the lantern into the lane. Lands the stun. Easy as pie in that bottom lane, and that is going to go from bad to worse for N Faculty. They're still down on CS. They haven't been able to recuperate any of that. Back to the mid lane, though. Take Fun not having flash puts quite a lot of pressure on him, and Kuban, he sees what Obvious is doing. Oh, Arcane Smash, nearly, just a little bit short on the range. That flash not being available for Take Fun is going to kind of exacerbate a lot of the difficulties that he's having in lane, because we haven't really spoken too much about mid lane yet. Take Fun is down in CS. Orianna is going to just pretty much farm this up, and Take Fun, once he hits 6, needs to get around the map.
But this is a change from every other series we've seen between Reason and Faculty, because Take Fun has always had the advantage in this lane. But this time, this is the first time that Soz Pure Effect is leading here. Livic now heading into the mid lane. See if he can put any pressure down. Livic, we've seen a lot of roaming from him. Likes to go with those mobility boots, at least when he was on Alistar. Zayu, again, has opted for that in this game, along with the Stalker's Blade.
I wonder whether we'll see the boots out of Livic as well. He is heading back. There you go, level 1 boots out of Livic, and he is looking to roam once again. And it's difficult to deal with. Supported roaming more just in general on 421 because of the reduced pressure on Dragon. You don't need to be there to take it so early, or at least protect for your opponents taking it. So you can afford to roam more. It makes a lot of sense. You get boots early, just gives you a lot more control.
And now, Zayu in the top lane, level 4. Zaza's now level 6 as well. Kuban, little low on mana, but should have enough for all he needs to lock him down. Zayu will find him here, locks him down. Here comes the stun as well with the Twisted Advance. Has the Slicing Maelstrom and will pick up the kill. Zayu gets his 2nd kill of the game.
Zazas was not expecting a Pantheon to be in that bush, and that's a very... to be honest, I don't think Zayu is going to get much easier ganks than that. I mean, when your opponent walks into you and just you stun them on the spot, it's not going to get more simple than that.
Oh, take fun though in the middle lane. Lance Spirit Rush will be going in for the last charge. Ignite is ticking. Soz Pure Effect pops his own potion and keeps him alive. And that's the ultimate down, and both summoners down for Take Fun.
He didn't quite get enough damage to pick up the kill on that, and Obvious is perhaps looking to see if he sticks around in this lane. Take Fun, no flash, no ultimate here as well. And this could be a very easy gank out from Obvious if he could look for it. Soz Perfect has his ultimate available.
The flash into the Cocoon. Shockwave as well drags him in. He has no way to escape. That was a smooth gank in the mid lane.
Greedy play out by Take Fun at that situation. He's behind in lane. He gets a trade that didn't exactly go quite as well as he would have liked to after using everything. He knew Orianna had his ultimate available. Just stuck around for a couple more CS.
Well, this is already looking much better for N Faculty picking up that early kill. 1 and 2 though in the scoreboard, and now 8 minutes into the game, everyone will be just going through their jungles, picking up their next couple of buffs, going back to base and picking up some of those new items mid lane. The Athene's Unholy Grail looks like the makings of that so far, having picked up the Chalice, and now going back as well, we'll be adding to that with the Fiend's Codex.
So, other places on the map. What are we seeing out of items? Sheen on Irelia, and speaking of Irelia, she's going to have a little bit of help from Obvious here as they head into the top lane.
Kubon is down to 50% HP, but unsure if he really has the damage. Zayu can't assist him here, and it's just a matter of time before Zazes finds a kill. And Obvious, again, has had a pretty good impact on this game. Likewise, so has Zayu. The junglers are turning up.
That's two very straightforward ganks there, and I believe that was even warded out that time out of Kubon. I'm pretty sure he could see Obvious cross over that pink ward. Kubon just playing aggressively up in the top lane. Reason, sure, they're 2 games up. You can't be that overconfident.
So Zayu here with the man drop coming down right behind Soz Pure Effect. Will be coming right on top of him, gets the stun down. Here's the Orb of Deception, there's the charm, that's the dead Orianna.
And that's what Crepo was talking about. You ultimate behind your target, Ahri pushes forward, and Soz Pure Effect was like a deer in the headlights then, really just nowhere he could go without eating a charm.
Libic now heading into this jungle, puts down a ward. Obvious as well with Mountain will be trying to take this one away. In fact, he didn't place down a ward, he just looked to see if it was there. And Obvious should be able to take this out with no troubles. That will be Reason Gaming heading back to base with 1 kill over their opponents, only 300 gold in it. This is basically as close as this game could get.
It is a close game right now. Some of the lanes aren't quite so close, or should I say haven't been quite so close. Take Fun from that kill has been able to even up a lot of the difference in CS. Now has a kill to his name as well. So he's actually managed to turn that lane back on its head. You can see the gold between the 2 mid laners is now just about even. And that is a better spot now for Take Fun than this game started out to be.
Yeah, most of that gold on the team of N Faculty, at least the advantage is on Zazes over Kubon. So that's pretty much what they want. It's Zazes on Irelia. It's a snowballing champion. It's a time bomb champion where at some point in the game you're going to get strong enough to launch yourself onto Celiva and hopefully take him out in team fights.
Yeah, that's the name of the game. But at this point, and looking for another gank down in the bottom lane out of Obvious. He's hung around here for a little bit, but Libic only just has to throw that Lantern out and he'll pretty much detect what's up. There you go. Lantern comes out.
Right on cue.
Exactly. It's a very easy read. Zayu is going to cross a pink ward, so he knows he's been spotted. Take Fun doesn't know he's been spotted, but warding out from N Faculty in their own jungle is keeping them alive for now.
It is, and it may even result in a potential pick as Soz Pure Effect comes into his own jungle. But all this constant warding, playing it safe, making sure that Reason Gaming cannot stamp their authority on the early game, which has been punishing N Faculty quite a lot in the last couple games. Blue Trinket now picked up by Cedrian in the bottom lane. Will be scouting out Libic as he wards up that bush.
So both junglers have had their mobility boots finished for quite some time now, and you can see they're just attempting to get into lane again and again. Sightstone just completed on Elise, just like we saw out of Zayu in the last couple of games. I'm looking to see whether Obvious is going to opt towards the Juggernaut again, or the Juggernaut like Zayu has done game after game.
Yes.
Or whether he'll go for the Magus upgrade. And I believe Obvious, was he sitting around just to try and check whether either mid lane was pushing up there? Opts for the crab instead, no gank potential on for him.
Well, Zaz is on Irelia in top lane, launches onto Kubon, takes him down to 60%. Obvious as well will be clearing up this pink ward, but Zayu in the bot lane. Here comes the ultimate. Grand Skyfall comes down, flashes out the way of it, will be Mountain, but he also finds the bubble as well into Celeber. It's not going to help him too much. Cedric returning with the damage. The teleport from Zazes gets one retribution kill, a 1-for-1 so far. Support for the jungler, not too bad of a trade, but they also burn the teleport.
So much damage down from Cedric in that bottom lane, but Takefun might be in a little bit of trouble here.
Takes some hits from Obvious, looking for that cocoon. Zazes from the side, has to use Spirit Rush, ducks back in as well to return some damage. Lands an Over Deception and will dip and dive out. But the Dragon is up, and that's a big ultimate that he would have liked to have.
And Zayu has no real way of crossing the map right now if he wants to get in and stop this Dragon. Not a lot of damage out of N-Faculty on this Dragon so far. They're getting forced away, and Reason Gaming going to be able to regroup and get into position to deny this.
Oh, the flash from Obvious. There's the shockwave, but completely sombreros as Cedrian's backing off here. Kuban as well teleports into the fight, and everyone is so low from N-Faculty. Obvious gets destroyed by Libic with the last auto attack. And now Mountain comes back from base, but it's too little, too late. The Dragon will be falling to Reason Gaming. They get the first Dragon of the game at 13 minutes.
Reason decide to pick up the scraps from what N-Faculty started there, and they were thinking about going into the turret, but Reason Gaming just... It's saying that N-Faculty really didn't commit to the Dragon. They kind of ummed and ahed about everything, and it's a big pickup for Reason to start this off.
Reason Gaming will push the bottom turret as well, trying to take this down, but Cedrian and Mountain have arrived. Celeber will be taking the Fresh... In fact, he won't be taking the Fresh Express. He just walks into the bush and carries on clearing out the minions. I see your Lantern, I acknowledge it, I'm just not going to take it.
He wanted the farm.
Yeah.
Well, you need the farm if it's pushing into you.
But if your support gives you a Lantern, you better click it, otherwise you'll get angry.
I don't know. I'm the kind of person that's going to go for a farm.
I know you are.
Anyway, into the game. Right, CS lead in the bottom lane for Celeber, and I mean, Celeber had a bit of, I don't want to say a quiet game last game because so much was on Takefun's shoulders that this game, I wonder whether we'll see very similar to the last one where he went huge on Ezreal, but Pantheon Ultimate has been started. Obvious, and it's perfect.
Off the escape route. Libic comes through with the Death Sentence, doesn't land, but the Chilling Smite as well into the Charm, into the CC. Libic locks him up, and that's another dead Orianna. 0-2-1 in this game. So
much crowd control out by Reason Gaming. If any one of their crowd control lands, it's pretty much just chain CC for days, and there's no way that N-Faculty can really get away from that. The only real disengage they have is the Nami ultimate, but even then, if Nami's not there, that's not exactly useful.
Celeber will finally take this bottom turret down in the bottom lane for the first turret of the game, going over to Reason Gaming. Takefun looks like he'll be doing the same in the mid lane, and now takes a commanding advantage in terms of gold. We'll be around 3,000 gold ahead for Reason Gaming, and Faculty are lagging behind just a little bit. Cedric in the bot lane trading off with Celeber. As the Phosphorus Bomb comes through, both of them will be around the same HP. Zazes and Kuban are going toe-to-toe. And it is, in fact, Maokai coming ahead in that trade. Both of them completing their first big items.
Yeah, and a big item down onto Celeber as well. That Trinity Force has been completed. So that's why he feels comfortable to just sit in front of Cedrian, who doesn't have a completed item. He has the Berserker's Greaves and parts of an Infinity Edge. So right now, Celeber has so much more damage in these trades with the Phosphorus Bombs landing. That's the key for him, though. Has to make sure they hit. I'm looking again to Obvious to see whether he's going to opt for the damage, opt for the Magus enchant. Ruby Crystal, we'll have to see. Likely going into a Kindle Gem, I would imagine, like Zayu has done the last couple of games himself.
Yeah, and that would signal a Juggernaut enchant, but we will see. Zaz is in the top lane, clearing out these minions. Libic now moving up there as well with his mobility boots. Again, no change no matter really what support he's on. Blue Wolf goes over to take fun. Everyone is gearing up for a potential fight, which could open up, but with no Dragon being on the board, there's nothing to cluster around. Mountain in the top lane alongside Obvious, but look at this ward. It has scouted out both of them. Not even sure when they managed to put that one down.
That was right when they were killing Ori. When they got the chain CC, they just dropped a ward from Libic, I believe it was, and it's actually done quite a lot of work. And the thing is, it's out of the range, so nobody's really thought to sweep it. They would have seen it go down, is the other thing. Just giving Reason a lot of information of who's around this top side.
That's some pretty impressive foresight coming in from Reason Gaming, though, to put that down. Now, Libic and Kuban continuing the siege in the top lane. Zayu is also there, and he has Grand Skyfall available.
You can tell that N Faculty are definitely under the cosh right here because of the amount of wards in their own jungle rather than the enemy jungle. There's actually no wards at all from either team in Reason Gaming's jungle. That's it's something you hardly ever see. You normally would get at least one aggressive ward or at least a defensive ward, but Celaver goes aggressive again. He's just feeling very confident down in that bottom side.
Yeah, talking about aggression, Celaver is all about it. Takefun and Zayu taking away his pink ward in the jungle. Blue Trinket goes down, will be scouting them out in the bottom lane. Kuban does not have his teleport, so if this fight were to break out in the bottom lane, this could be potentially disastrous for Reason Gaming, and I feel like they know that themselves. Kuban saying, I still have a couple seconds on my teleport, make that 15.
Yeah, just needs to buy a bit of time to be able to get down there. But N Faculty certainly are stalling things out. Oh dear. That Nami recall. It's not the worst one. Thank gosh Morgana's not around anymore.
Yeah, but we could even see a potential Nami and Morgana matchup. We've seen Morgana in the top lane as well recently.
The less said about all these different picks, the better. Let's go back to this game.
Yeah, so in the mid lane, all about it at the moment. Sos Pure Effect still 0-2-1, has been farming okay. Doesn't quite have the same scoreline that Takefun did on that champion. And talking about Takefun, has picked up his Morella Nomicon and has another Fiend's Codex, so we'll see where that goes. Probably expecting a Deathfire Grasp.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. So, as we head into a bit of a slower period of this game, what do N Faculty have to do here? Well, they have to certainly contest the dragon that's up in 30 seconds. You cannot let Reason get another one of those. They also have to take control of their jungle wards as well. They've got a lot of wards down, but they haven't really denied Reason's vision either, and it gives Reason clear moments to push like this in the bottom lane. They know nobody's around to defend it. This is going to be a tower going down uncontested, and kind of reminiscent of the last game.
Yeah, it was just a good movement play from Reason Gaming resulting in the turret, and absolutely this is reminiscent of the last game where we saw all of the inner turrets go down without N Faculty really responding with anything.
And the tower going down and no vision in the bottom side jungle for N Faculty means that Reason have got a fairly easy dragon to take here. They'd have to really expend a lot if they wanted to get in onto this dragon. It's going to be another dragon going over to Reason Gaming.
Yep, and that will be their second dragon going down. So still there's a large period in which N Faculty have for that window to be closed for Reason Gaming. Of course, they need to get another 2 dragons until they can start pressuring with the potential of picking up that all-important 5th dragon. N Faculty have a good 12 or 15 minutes before that's reality, though.
We haven't really seen games go long enough for 5 dragons, though, right now. Especially with the effect of the changes to dragon means that you can get it, well, you can't get it quite so easy in the game. It's very rare that we're getting to that point of the game. A lot of it's to do with the fact that Baron minions are very difficult to deal with, and a lot of the compositions we've seen are kind of able to split push very easily, and no difference on this one. Were N Faculty able to get ahead with Irelia, but that is not the current game state. They aren't ahead so far, and they're actually still down by quite a lot here. N Faculty just really haven't been able to get the ball rolling in any of these games early on.
And N Faculty, while they're a consistent team, if you're consistently behind, that's not going to help you all that much. Reason Gaming, again, taking a commanding lead over this game. And definitely looking a lot better, a lot more comfortable from what we saw yesterday in their matchup, going 0-3. Now maybe even doing the same thing to their opponents here in the elimination match. This is the 3rd game. One more game in favor of Reason Gaming would put them ahead and take them through to the lower bracket finals as Celaver just takes away yet another red buff. I believe this is the 2nd time he's taken away a red buff with just a big one from his missile barrage.
Yeah, this one wasn't blind though. It was good.
Last one was,
but not quite like the last one. But yeah, Celaver is doing a good job again. He's 1-0-2, a little bit ahead in CS right now, and is in a good spot for Corki. He's just going to pick up another BF sword to supplement a lot of his damage right now, and he's a tough cookie to crumble right now because Cedrian just isn't getting in a position to land the damage.
So as RG are roaming through this jungle, of course they are looking for their team fights, they're looking for their picks, but N Faculty, we haven't really seen what the composition can do. It's mainly just been them getting caught out. But top lane, once again getting caught out, Xaxus takes a hug, but now they're on the aggression. The shockwave only hits one, but it will result in Livic's death. The tidal wave comes through, tags Kubon on the way out, but that's a 1-0, and Faculty just punishing this over-aggression from RG.
Weird positioning, but here comes an ultimate out of Pantheon.
Grand Skyfall right down on top of Celiva to meet his teammates. Take Fun still chasing after. We'll have to flash away here, and Celiva is exhausted, and Xaxus will take advantage of this, but Kubon closing in from the top side. He's not able to zone him away just yet, but Celiva's still low. He actually gets the dangerous game pass up to keep him alive. Double kill comes out. He goes down for the count. So the Take Fun as well, trying to offer this damage, waiting for those cooldowns. Kubon drops low, but this another auto attack was not enough from Cedrian. A 4-for-1, and Reason Gaming turned that on its head.
Celiva knew he needed the damage reduction from Kubon to be able to survive through that, and meanwhile Zayu has been pushing in the mid lane. Execute goes down onto Mountain, but all the way back at the beginning of that fight, Take Fun and Celiva were nowhere near, and weirdly Reason pushed up. They got engaged upon, but this is midway through the fight after Pantheon has appeared. So Celiva is just able to output so much damage, and what looks to be a bit of a weird flash here up away from the rest of his team brings him in line with Kubon, who between the damage reduction and that little bit of extra health there from his masteries is going to keep him alive for that second kill of that little sequence.
Yeah, that was almost Celiva getting away with it, but wasn't quite the case as we see the tail end of that fight there. But Stars Pure Effect heads back to base. Again, and Faculty are absolutely behind in this game. Reason Gaming are in the driver's seat, but they don't seem to be taking the game anywhere. They are just kind of going for fights and fighting the fights as they happen, but haven't necessarily been proactive apart from when they move into a lane and then someone gets caught.
Xaxus is going for that Zephyr on Aurelia that we see a fair amount, and I'm wondering how that's actually going to turn out. Essentially, Xaxus just needs to blow up Celiva, and he's like, I need damage rather than tanky stats. So it depends if Xaxus can get all the way through the fight and pick somebody off from Reason. Reason are very mobile, though.
Oh, Livic thought he has found the catch, but it is in fact him who is the hunted. He goes down. Kubon teleporting into the top lane here to defend this turret, but is it worth it for an outer turret?
At this point, there's a lot of people from M Faculty. They're just going to zone him away and potentially kill him here, but Pantheon is going to ult in.
He comes into this fight, 2 versus 4, but they're way ahead of their team. He picks up one. Now the cavalry has arrived. Xaxus comes in, and Zion knew exactly what he was doing, but Soap's perfect. The perfect shockwave onto 3. He gets one, but he can't find another as Zayu moves away, and he was just reenacting the extinction of the dinosaurs with the meteor coming down.
Oh, a turret again. Mountain's just getting executed. Sorry, to realize it's 2 for 2 on that. Nami Wave looked to be really good. Knocked up Pantheon and Maokai. The problem was they had so much damage between the Pantheon and the Maokai that Celiva then follows up. And let's take another look at it. Chilling Smite goes down. Here's a lot of the disruption, but this Nami ultimate just in time to prevent Pantheon from getting on. But look at the damage that Kubon and Zayu are able to output. And then brilliant shockwave, but Soz Pure Effect is alone here. Charm doesn't even need to land for them to pick up the kill. A double kill goes over to Celiva. He's now at 5-1 and 4.
But it's not like N Faculty are not showing any signs of life. The Soz Pure Effect can still land those perfect shockwaves, and if all the stars align, then it can absolutely result in a one-team fight for them. Double Sweep has come out for absolute control over that area, as they do see that pink ward. Reason Gaming are still aggressive and still making sure that that jungle is Reason Gaming's jungle.
Reason do have a lot in the way of vision in that jungle, but they haven't got the control. That's one of the problems they've got right now. They just see that ward go down and they don't sweep it. So that's again, they just need to be sweeping these wards out. They need to make sure that Zayu doesn't get caught by a bubble here. Won't spell too much more, but there's a game of chess here up in this top side of the jungle.
Yeah, I mean, Reason Gaming are still together. They're still picking up objectives, but N Faculty are absolutely scattered around this area. They're not decisive in what they want to do, but they know in a head-on team fight, they have to do something to be the catalyst for their team fight to put them ahead, because Reason Gaming in a head-on brawl should win on paper.
And Faculty, all 3 games have just been passive. Again and again, they just really haven't been forcing any kind of issue against Reason. And it's very reminiscent of yesterday's games against H2K. One of the problems that the Faculty had was they just let H2K do everything they wanted. H2K just played aggressively, took the objectives, got kills, and never looked back. And Faculty start fighting for it. This is your LCS chance for Spring Split. You've got to fight for it. You cannot try and just play defensively all the time.
Because if you do, then more and more dragons are going to go to Reason Gaming. As the 3rd dragon goes down for them, that will be increasing their movement speed. And they are 2 dragons away from getting that 5th dragon now. And Faculty will have to start contesting these at some point. Because right now, 27 minutes into the game, I believe this is one of the fastest times we've seen Reason Gaming be in such a confident lead at this stage in the game. And now they're not grouping up themselves. They're just kind of split across the map. So again, we saw this from Game 2 and Game 1. They're slow to close out games.
They are being a little hesitant. Ooh, over the wall.
Or if they can find Cedrin, that would help. Cedrin did have to burn his flash, though. That's very important. Take Fun only used his Spirit Rush for that.
Down in the bottom lane, you can see that Zazis is waiting for Celeber, but he actually felt like something was up, and Celeber backed away. That's his good intuition. Kind of realizing Aurelia hasn't been spotted in a while, now he's going to see she was in the bottom lane, and that could have been a big turning point for Faculty had they got a kill down there and been able to take something somewhere across the map. But Celeber a little bit too wise to it, and you can see the game plan here. Kubon goes down to the bottom lane. He's got Distortion for that extra cooldown reduction on the teleport. Flash is used up in the top lane, though. Yeah,
obvious flash forwards there. Looked for the cocoon, but all he found in the flash was a charm to the face from Take Fun. So that's another flash burnt. But Take Fun also had to use his own before. So flash exchange there. 7 to 14 currently. Still, Reason Gaming are ahead by 7.5 thousand gold. And that 4 tower advantage, of course. But that inner base has not been cracked. But Faculty haven't really been able to capitalize on that, except that one big Annie play we saw last game. Maybe they can do something similar, because they do have the Shockwave and they do have the Aurelia to try and set that up.
It's a lot harder to set up any kind of fight like that, though. The Flash Tibbers is one of those kind of split-second engages. Yeah. Rather than, you know, having to position a ball and then get the Shockwave off, it's a lot more tricky to set up. They're going to have to rely a little bit on Mountain's ultimates to either disengage or potentially catch people in a spot in the middle of a team fight to try and get that off. They really just don't have engage outside of single target pick.
If they can find a single target pick, though, Zazis goes down and he gets destroyed by Take Fun. However, Celeber might happen to him as well as he takes the collateral damage. Fresh Express to Livic will get him out of dodge. We didn't quite catch that on the screen, but Zaz's falling is just going from bad to worse for Faculty.
Yeah, and it was Take Fun roaming down there to join Kubon. They knew Kubon. That's harder than I thought that was going to be to say. They knew Kubon couldn't really kill him on his own, but bringing Take Fun down there, make sure you got that extra damage. Now they're sieging up a bit of an inhibitor turret down in that bottom side, but they don't really have the best pushing potential right now with just those two.
Well, clearing out these wards as well.
We're going to take a look at that one again. Yeah, cut and dry. There we go. Charm landed. Kubon has enough CC to lock him down.
Yeah, pretty much as expected.
Yes, exactly. But at least we now have confirmation. But in from the side, maybe come Reason Gaming as Kubon and Take Fun are looking for the angle. They've actually split up Faculty a little bit.
And they don't have the Sanctuary of the turret. Take Fun comes in. He does delete Sentry and the Shockwave onto 5. This could be the speed fight that Faculty need. They find one, but Zazis is dropping low. Mountain and Sod Purefect are getting destroyed by Zayu. But everyone is still low as well from Reason Gaming. Obviously looking to chase up, but he can't quite get in range. Kubon is still trying to be the front line that they need. He will be the sacrificial tree for the team. A 1 for 2, this time in favor of Faculty.
Teleport from Zazis is coming in, though. Is he going to be able to cross enough distance? Home Guard is there.
Home Guard right onto Celeber. He goes down. The shutdown comes out, but the Blade Surge is not reset, so he can't get Libic and he can't get Zayu.
But is it enough? It should be a Baron call here, I would imagine. They've just got to be... Well, I guess it's been spotted out. Those minions are going to follow that through. Let's go back, though. At the beginning of that fight, we talked about it. It's difficult to set up for Mountain and Soz Purefect. But when they can get them together, watch the combination here from Nami Ultimate into a 5-man Shockwave is insane damage here, and that is what Faculty needed to perhaps keep their hopes of being in the spring split of LCS alive. From there, there's not all that much chase potential. Mountain doesn't have the mana here to give any movement speed over to Obvious or the rest of the team. Good body block out from Kuban, but he sacrifices himself to do so and slows the rest of the push.
If only Xaxus was a little bit healthier off the back of that 5-man Shockwave, then he would have been able to chase everyone down. But still, Faculty, we saw this last game. They had that one good team fight. They couldn't replicate that success. Can they do that in Game 3? Because they need to if they are to stay alive.
Man, you are not going to see too many Shockwaves like that. That could be a game changer. That really may have just lit Faculty's hopes up. Irelia picking up a couple of kills there makes her so much more difficult to deal with now. Faculty need to contest this Dragon and make sure that they don't give too many over to Reason. This would be Dragon 4 if Reason pick up the Dragon in 30 seconds. But Irelia is going to give them a little bit of trouble now in that solo lane. Draw somebody away. Kuban isn't really going to be able to kill her, just going to have to try and contain Irelia for a little bit longer in this game.
But would it be a mistake for Faculty to try and contest this? Because yes, they had a great team fight there, but that was Reason Gaming all being in the right place and lining up for Soz Purefect. Around this Dragon Pit, yes, it's the 4th Dragon, but it's not the end of the world.
No, and I agree to some extent. I feel that you have to at least have presence there. The other option is that if you see your opponents going for Dragon, you just can kind of go Baron at the same time, and that is exactly what Faculty were looking to do at this point in time. It deters Reason from taking the Dragon. Now that this is a threat, Celiver is doing this slowly, and Faculty are going to head back there, but they haven't cleaned the wards out. This is quite a risky play, but if they can take a 5v4 here, Faculty are umming and ahhing, and the Dragon has already gone down here, and Faculty need to get back to their base.
Yeah, Reason Gaming are ready to collapse. This could be round 2. Grand Skyfall comes in from behind. They are stuck between a rock and a hard place. They do not have a home to go back to. They are trying to get back here, but Reason Gaming aren't actually engaging here.
Well, Reason know that they can just push towards mid and zone them out even further. Oh, that hook was dangerously close.
Mountain has been caught out. Tidal Wave zones them away. Mountain lives and survives for another day. That's very important. And the buckshot will clear out that minion wave, but the middle turret is being sieged in.
Oh, the charm landed on Xaxus, but it's not enough.
Xaxus is still looking to find a perfect target. Just trying to get those blade surges down to get in range of Celiver. But that tower is very, very low. Yeah, 2 more hits at a maximum out of Celiver will take that down, and they're just waiting on the minion wave for now. This is going to have to take... If Faculty want to hold this, they're going to have to engage as Celiver steps forward, and that is tricky because anybody that steps forward to deal with Celiver is going to get charmed out by Take Fun. You can see he's lining up for it. In goes Irelia. Oh, Xaxus comes in here, but he's dragged into the team. He dropped very low. They can't let him die here. He gets stunned up. In comes the Twisted Advance, and down goes their top laner. Obvious also gets caught out by Take Fun, takes him down on the return of the Orb of Deception. Cedrian as well, combos out. Isn't enough damage. Shockwave only lands onto 2, and the Aqua Prison only onto Kuban. Cedrian is the only damage threat still out for Faculty, and Reason Gaming. Is this the last nail in the coffin?
They're going to take the inhibitor, and if they do what they've done in other games, swing top, but that was a beautiful charm that caught the after flash. The Aqua Prison lands is not going to be enough. Reason are looking to push here.
And they move onto Cedrian. There's the hook as well. All of the CC. Once one hits, so does everything else, falling over like dominoes. Reason Gaming are not going to go for those outer turrets. They're just going to end the game. This will be 3-0. They will be taking this series in the expansion tournament, and they progress into the lower bracket finals, and they have just eliminated Faculty.
Oh, the hopes of Faculty have been shattered by Reason fixing some of the problems they had from yesterday. Reason looked a lot stronger, and in this series, they really didn't let up. Faculty were just slower out of the gates. Reason were just beating them to the punch every time. Reason Gaming, they're looking better.
Yeah, this is the Reason Gaming that we were expecting to see yesterday, and if they can perform more like this when we go into the lower bracket final, they still have a shot at the LCS.
And you have to feel that for Reason, bringing in a player like Celiver in 2 of the 3 games here in this elimination match, he has gone huge. This game, he was 8-2-5. Previously, I believe he went 8-0 or 8-1 as Ezreal in game 1 of the series. And when you've got a player like that and you can put a lot behind him, and as long as the rest of the team are doing well, let's not count out Take Fun Kuban. Actually, all of the Reason lineup did a good job in all of the games, but stand out in the last game, Celaver having another good game.
Yeah, Reason Gaming have to be happy about that victory there, Stress. They came out of the gate, they came out swinging 3-0, and so far this has been the tournament of 3-0s. This is another one to add to the collection, and we'll see if the next series goes that way. But that is all from us, from at least today.
Not quite. We've got a little bit more time to break down this game.
But this is our very last cast of today, as we did go 3-0, but what does that mean? So N-Faculty are out of the tournament, and that means that Reason Gaming are now moving over to the lower bracket finals, and they'll be meeting whoever loses out of the upper bracket final.
Yeah, of course, H2K and Giants will be playing that tomorrow. One of them's going to LCS, the other meets Reason Gaming, but the other thing that we've got everybody looking forward to as well is IEM Cologne, of course. The first set of games is going to be starting in just a little while, but Expansion Tournament surely has started to heat up. We're one team fewer now, only 3 stand in the Expansion Tournament, and it's not a lot of odds left on getting into LCS.
Yeah, and it's only going to get more exciting because over these next 2 days, we will find a team a day who will be going into the LCS. So we'll be seeing who will be coming in. 2 of these 3 teams that you've seen over this tournament will be going in.
And there's a bit of a grudge match, I guess, in that middle lane coming up in tomorrow's game between H2K and Giants, because some strong words yesterday out of Forbiven saying that he felt like Soz Perfect was you know, the better player. He said that in the interview, and Soz Perfect is no longer in the Expansion Tournament, so maybe that's not quite the feather in the cap that Forbiven was looking to give him.
Maybe, but well, we'll see how that matchup goes. Of course, you mentioned the upper bracket final. We'll have to see who goes down out of that upper bracket final into the lower to meet Reason Gaming. And whoever goes down, that's going to be pretty difficult because Reason Gaming are 3-0. They're looking a lot stronger today. But either way, guys, we are going to throw it over to the analyst desk. So that's it from myself, Richard Pauls Cam, and alongside me, of course, was James Stress O'Leary. And we will see you tomorrow.